Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Books Club. This is a public information video to show you how to play on devices like this and look at the time and date there. That is today when I'm recording this. How to play old games, your old iOS games, your old 32-bit games that you may thought you've long lost today in 2025. Let's go on a journey together. In order to make this video, I had to take a bit of a gamble, so I needed to get myself an iPad, and the one that we're using for this demo is a 4th generation iPad. It's got a lightning connector that you can see here, and that is actually the eBay auction that I used to purchase this. You know, that was pretty damn cheap. That was 35 quid in order to have an entire back catalogue of games that you may remember from the past, you may have enjoyed from the past, but you have long lost. You have absolutely long lost. So yeah, I'm generally quite damn excited to be doing this. Now let's go on a bit of a journey together to walk you through everything. This is the iPad. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, maybe today, maybe this video will earn your subscription. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. So yeah, let's go into the iPad. So we're going to get that fired up there, and we are going to go into basically our settings there. And this is the iPad that you're looking for. You're looking for basically one that is model number MD510B/A. That is the last of the 4th generation iPads. They use the lightning connectors as well, so you will still have connectivity even if the one you look at buying doesn't have one. This one only cost me 35 quid to buy. You basically want the iOS on there to be 10.3.3. That is the last iOS. That is the final one before they went to 64-bit systems. This one would not upgrade to the 64-bit iOS because of the processor and everything else that was in it. So this is the last of the old stock as well. You know, so really good to be using. Now, we can bring up the games, and these are a section of games that I've got here. These are versions of games that you can no longer get. They are outdated versions. They are different versions. You've even got games on here that you absolutely can't get. You know, these fighting fantasy ones here, you literally don't have them on the Apple Store anymore. The only reason I've got those is I purchased them in the past, and Apple does a great thing. Apple does a great thing. If you go into the App Store, and it's going to load up an old looking App Store here, it really is. It'll be with us in just a moment's time, and you click on purchased. That will flip to another window, and we can look at not on this iPad. That screen isn't going to change just a little bit, and that shows some of the bits and pieces we've got here. You can toggle between iPad apps and you can do iPhone apps as well, so you can flip around, but it has the entire history of you going all the way back, and that's how I got those fighting fantasy ones on here. It was basically really old stuff that was there that I could download, that I could put on. You know, you have a look at these. You know, FIFA 13, you ain't going to be able to get that anymore, but you can get that for this. You know, I could click on that and that will download, but you know what, we're going to do Bad Piggies instead, and click on this. And look at this. Do you want to download the last compatible version? So it recognizes that your iPad, the system that you've currently got here, is an older system. So it gives you the latest download that will work on your old system. So we're going to download that in a moment, and it's quite wonderful to look back through the entire history of the purchases that you've done. You think, dear God, did I buy that? A lot of these were obviously free and stuff like this, but you know, I couldn't tell you what half these things we've got there. You know, what on earth would Stickman Bass Jumper be? I just don't know, but it's bloody marvellous. It truly is, to be able to bring you a way to play your old games, and the investment to do this is so cheap. And this video is going to be linked back, so I'm going to be playing some of these games in the future on the channel, so I will be linking back here if you don't own the games. You know, these were devices that could be quite easily jailbroken. You could probably do some side loading to put your chosen IPA files on those as well. I'm not supporting piracy or anything like that, but a lot of this stuff is long dead, and if you can find the IPA file, there may be a way, if you do a search on other videos, and I'm not going to demonstrate exactly how to do this, where you can get those onto this device. Anyway, let's go back to the main screen there, and you look, Bad Piggies has loaded. So that is an old version that's coming up, Rovo or whatever their name is, before they sold out, before they made Angry Birds into the bloody mess that it ended up being. You know, you had games that were not littered with ads. So do we want notifications? No, we don't. Notifications, don't want that at all. Hi there, to play this game you must accept our service. Yeah, we accept your service, that's fine. We'll say okay, that's great, and it's going in, so there we go. So you know, we don't have, you know, thousands of adverts or anything like that. You know, I did fire up Angry Birds Rio, and it was a pleasant journey. But let's just see if this works. Click on play. Might as well just do this one. Come on. And we go to level 1. And it's just a quick demo to show this working. Okay, can we skip this? Yes, we can skip that. Come on. Chop, chop, chop. Alright, okay. So, I can't even remember what you've got to do on this game. I truly, truly can't. Okay, it wants us to click on that. Let's click on that. Okay, oh, this is the pigs they ride in the carts. Alright. I don't know what to do here. Oh, hang on. We had to build it, didn't we? We had to build it. There you go. So will he go down there? No, he doesn't. That doesn't particularly work. I completely forgot what we had to do on here. But no, let's go back. And we're going to close that one down. Close that. Close that. Oh, sorry, close that. And close that. And we're going to have a look at a really, really old thing. So I will be doing a video. In fact, you would have already seen a video on this. This is Motion X Poker. You absolutely can't get this anymore. You know, this I only have, and they stopped making this many, many years ago. And I'm using a retro sync here, so we can actually just zoom in just a little bit, which we're going to be doing right now. Actually, that's the wrong one. Let's do that one. It zooms in a little bit more. We can cut off the top and bottom bits. This was a great, great poker game to be playing. And yeah, we'll just play poker, play a hand, say okay to this, and you know, Yahtzee poker, that kind of thing. And we can click on roll, and it rolls the dice, and the more you play, the more you can unlock. But this was a great game. We're just going to say okay to. But what I also like about it is, here's my iPad. You can shake it. You can shake it, and you do another roll there. So yeah, a little bit of fun to have with this. A little bit of fun to have with this. But this is how you play old games, old 32-bit games on iOS devices. And always remember, this does not cost very much money. This £35 has opened up hundreds of games that I did not have. Let me give you one more demo of the hundreds of games in terms of what we can have available, what you certainly can't get anymore. So I'm just going to flip back to the iPad, I think, here for this. So here we are back on the iPad. There's been a slight edit so I could have this screen ready for you. We are on the purchase tab here, and I've actually installed all of these games. Look at all those Monopoly games that you could see there, and you know, that details of days of old. You know, you don't get those anymore. You absolutely don't get those anymore. But this is because of my purchase history. Your purchase history, you're going to have all kinds of delights that you may have chosen to purchase yourself as well. But just to show you the difference, if we then go back to basically search store. In fact, let's go to the keyboard and let's go to featured. We go to featured here, so we're going to get rid of those, and we're just going to type in the word Monopoly to see what versions of Monopoly are currently available. And they're going to be coming up in a moment's time, but those are very, very different to what we've seen here. Yes, you've got a couple of names that may be the same, but yeah, these versions here is different to what you saw because it was reaching out to allow you to have old games. And I'm really, really rather excited about this. This opens up a whole new chapter on this channel of great legacy games that we can play. But I hope it makes you take a look to see what you've got available on your personal back catalogue. All of you stay safe. All of you take care. I hope this video has been useful, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.